Ray. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Through our hearts, we have a direct link between us and the energetic fields of the world around us. And I think it's so interesting, and science now is beginning to acknowledge this. The first organ that forms in our bodies when in our mother's womb, it's not the brain, it's the heart. Our heart is the first organ because it must direct all of the other organs, even when we're in our mother's womb. I think it's no accident that we live in a world of electrical and magnetic fields, and that the heart is 100 times stronger than the brain electrically, and the heart is over 100 times stronger than the brain magnetically. So if you think about this, it makes complete sense. If we're going to communicate with the fields of energy that hold this world together, the electrical and the magnetic fields, and communicate with the fields that are inherent in every cell in our bodies, the electrical and the magnetic fields, it makes perfect sense that we would use the one organ in our body that is designed to do just that. And it's the heart that's much stronger electrically and much stronger magnetically than the brain. This is why it's often difficult to think our way through healing or to think our way through the solution of a problem, because our brain wasn't really designed to implement. We can create in the brain with a weak electrical and magnetic field and then carry what we've created in our brain through our hearts and share it with the world through the feeling. That is the new science that is developing today, and it is the skill that many of our indigenous ancestors had in the past. They have it today, and for me, this is the value of spending time in indigenous traditions so that before they disappear, so that we can learn from them what it is that they have preserved that we may have forgotten about our relationship to the world and how to be in the world. For me, this is the value of science, and I make a distinction between knowledge and wisdom. Science is all about knowledge. Science can tell us how things work. Science can tell us the nuts and the bolts of how things fit together. But science cannot go any further than that. Science cannot tell us how to apply that knowledge in our lives and in our world. That becomes the wisdom. And the wisdom can only come from the experience of life, both ancient and modern. Our experience today and what our ancestors have learned. So I think this is important. If we can honor science and keep science honest, science can only serve us if we keep science honest. And here's what I mean by that. There are new discoveries that are being made that change the way we've been led to think about ourselves and our relationship to the world. Those new discoveries are not being shared in the mainstream media, mainstream television, mainstream documentaries, mainstream classrooms, mainstream textbooks are still teaching the old science. How can we solve the greatest crises ever to face humankind in 5,000 years of recorded history if we cannot be honest with ourselves about what science is telling us in our relationship to the world? So the key is we must honor the principle of science, keep science honest. Science is designed to be updated. As new discoveries come to light, then we update the existing story. And when we stop the update, then we're not being honest with ourselves. So as we update what the science is telling us about us, it's telling us that we are beings of energy and that our heart is the organ that regulates the energy and our relationship to the health and the healing of our bodies and to the world around us. That opens the door to a new frontier.